So I thought that this article might be of interest to read, and it's about dairy milk dumping. This isn't anything new. Bearing in mind, these animals get exploited, they have their babies taken away from them because, of course, with lactation, there's a baby, the baby is supposed to drink that milk, but apparently adult humans would like that milk, so that baby gets killed or sent off to also be artificially inseminated and have her babies taken away from her. Midwest dairy producers forced to dump milk. With much of the upper Midwest processing capacity maxed out in terms of milk production, finding a new home for milk is not an easy task. The executive director of Minnesota Milk shared that Hastings Creamery ability to discharge is shut down for 30 days as they need to take their waste elsewhere. They shared that they're continuing operations and are accepting and diverting milk from the same farmers as needed. We've been working over the past few weeks with the farmers to find alternative markets while government officials have been looking to find a solution to keep the plant open. He says, "We believe every milk buyer across the upper Midwest is aware of the situation. Plants are already voluntarily dumping milk on farm on certain days, and even though we have transportation available, most plants cannot currently take the milk even for free." Hastings Creamery processes 150,000 pounds of raw milk each day and purchases it from dairy farmers located in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. 150,000 pounds of raw milk. How many cows are being exploited for that amount of milk?
Well, in case anybody was wondering how my day is going, how my weeks are going, how June Dairy Month is going, well, it ain't worth a crap. Processing plant can't handle all the milk from everybody apparently, for a couple of reasons. They have too much apparently, and they can't get nobody to work, so they can't get nobody to process the milk. So the hauler picked it up and he's taking it and dumping it in a field right now. I'll post a video after this one of that happening. Either that, or I suppose you'll be dumping it in the pit until they can figure out how to process it, how to handle it all. I mean, there's some spring flush, but we got big problems out here in the egg world, and it's not good. And then the milk hauler, he's sick of it, so he's hanging her up. We got to the end of the month to find a new hauler, and hopefully the creamery can figure out how to handle the milk and process the milk. So yeah. And I'm not the only one. Multiple other farms. Some other farms have it worse than we have it. But we all need some prayers out here on the dairies, because it's not good. It's not good, to say the least. So if anybody's got extra thoughts and prayers, send them to the dairies, because myself and all these other farms, we all need it. We need it bad. And yeah. So anyway, please eat as much cheese and drink as much milk and ice cream and yogurt as you possibly can. I'm not the only one that's going to help. We got multiple workers. Their families all rely on me paying them, as well as all the other farms, all the other businesses that rely on these dairies. They need all of us. So we all could use a little thoughts and prayers and some help somehow. So them girls don't know anything different than to keep eating and keep making milk. Keep them comfortable with the fans. Keep them well fed, well cared for. Anyway, it sucks, to say the least.
Justin Malone, one of the creamery's owners, shared that it's a tough time in the dairy industry and some farmers are forced to dump milk because they cannot find processing plants with capacity to accept additional milk. And it shows how other farms are forced to dump milk too. The reality is not Only Hastings Creamery is impacted by an oversupply of milk on the market. Mitch Thompson owns and operates Thompson Family Dairy Farm and is a member owner Associated Milk Producers Incorporated. He shared that he had to dump milk from his herd on June 2nd. The milk hauler picked up our milk and said, "Well, I'm taking it to another farm's field that just chopped up rye to dump the milk in the field," he says, noting that he still will get paid for that dumped milk, but shares the whole cooperative suffers when milk isn't sold. Thompson is uncertain about how long dumping milk will continue, but shares that he's concerned about the current state of the dairy industry. "We're shipping around 70,000 pounds of milk a day, so I worry, where's all that milk going to go?" he questions. "If they keep dumping the milk, how bad is our milk price going to get?" At the time of the interview, Thompson shared that his farm's milk was picked up and taken to the plant on June 5th. It sounded like they were going to get a couple of other different farms and dump their milk like everybody's taking their turn, he shared. Meanwhile, it's normal business at Thompson Dairy as cows must be milked every day, even when the milk is then dumped into a nearby field. "This is a real kick in the shorts. How long can you keep doing this when the milk price is so low already?" Thompson notes, sharing that he's concerned about the current situation of milk being dumped as well as the low milk prices. Vice President of Marketing with AMPI says the reason producers are having to dump milk is simply because there's currently a flooded milk market. There's more milk on the market, and fluid milk sales have declined dramatically, especially with schools closing for the summer, she says. Those fluid milk sales were there for the past several months and simply are not there now. So they're putting it on the fact that schools are closed. I do have to wonder how much of it has to do with the fact that plant-based milks, plant-based dairy alternatives are heavily popular even with non-vegans. So they are breeding these animals into existence, exploiting them, killing them, all to dump the milk. They are stealing more off cows than they can even sell. I mean, it's horrible in the first place, but to know that these animals are being exploited and killed, also that their secretions can be dumped on a field or dumped into a bog that looks absolutely foul and is a health hazard.
This is what we discovered. A large man-made basin filled with rotting milk, and the chunky stuff? Algal blooms.
It's just really a spit in the face. What we do know is that dairy farmers produce a fantastic product. Do we know that, really? A fantastic product entailing rights violations of other sentient beings. Yes, it's so fantastic. Yeah, the dairy industry, really full of fantastically horrific things for other sentient beings. It's just great. And it sounds like it's not even really much of a moneymaker for the people who exploit those animals. Seems like something we should just ditch altogether. Just get rid of it. It's not a very good moneymaker for the people exploiting these animals. These animals are being exploited. They're having their babies taken away from them. They're being artificially inseminated. They're being killed when they can no longer produce milk. They're being selectively bred to overproduce a product which causes health issues for them. It's just all around pretty terrible. Here we go, nice and easy peasy. Just wanted to share that with people who don't know. Milk dumping is something that does indeed happen. Farmers express their concern for the fact that this is happening, causing low prices. They're breeding animals into existence, exploiting them and killing them for a product that some of the times they can't even sell. As I said in quite a few videos, I've been covering dairy quite a lot recently. Dairy's getting a lot of coverage. There's a lot of whining about plant-based alternatives. Saw recently as well that dairy farmers were really upset with a massive dairy company for bringing out a plant-based alternatives or having talks about it. They're quaking in their boots and they're not able to even sell the product they're making, and the product that they're making is so horrific to other individuals. It's time really to pack it up, don't we think? Please leave a comment. If you've got nothing to say, then just leave a salad bowl down below. I do hope you're well, and until next time, salads, I will see you soon.